Hi, my name is Kristen Howbold, and I'll be guiding you through the accelerometer and lab quest tutorial today. So let's get started. We need our lab quest, which looks like this, and we need our accelerometer. It comes in a bag with a handy white sheet that has a lot of information on it. It's a good idea for you to read over that before you start using the accelerometer. It'll tell you a lot of things you need to know. So we have our accelerometer, and we're going to plug it in now. If you look on the top of the lab quest, there's 4 ports, and then the accelerometer has a white jack on the end of it that you just plug into one of those ports. It doesn't matter which one. Plug that in. While you're back there, you might as well get the stylus out so you have it handy when you need to use it. So once we have it plugged in, we're going to go ahead and turn the lab quest on. The power button is in the top left corner. It's a silver button. Press and hold it for about a second. It'll turn on. And it takes a few seconds for the device to register the accelerometer. As a side note, you can either plug in the probe, any probe you're using, before or after you turn on the lab quest. It doesn't matter. But then we have our reading come up. And now the accelerometer is a bit interesting. Right now it measures gravitational acceleration, but only in the vertical direction. So when the arrow is facing horizontally to one side or another, the acceleration should read 0. This isn't quite calibrated right. But when we turn it straight up, so the arrow is pointing up, we'll read 9.8 meters per second squared, which is the gravitational constant. And when we turn it and point it down, so the arrow on the side is facing down, we'll read negative 9.8 meters per second squared. And this is just gravity working. And so in the cases where you're doing things, you may or may not need to factor out gravity. So when we turn it in around on the side, we can see the change in the acceleration due to gravity in the reading. So let's get started collecting data. So to collect, we're going to press the green play button. Now, as you see, when we start collecting, the data only collects for 2 seconds as we start off, so we need to figure out how to change that. So let's go and change our data collection. So we go to the sensor menu and click on data collection, and then we can change the time it collects. Right now it's set at 2 seconds, but you can change it to I'm going to change it to 10 seconds, but you can change it to seconds or minutes or even hours, I believe. And then we'll go ahead and collect more data and see how that goes. So let's press the play button, and then we'll play around. So right now I'm just turning the accelerometer in a circle, and as you can see, it traces out a bit of a sine or a cosine graph. Because I'm just turning in a circle, the reading is going from negative 9.8 meters per second squared to 9.8 meters per second squared. And yeah, let's go ahead and save our data with the File, Save menu, and then name it whatever you like, and hit Save. Pretty simple, very very straightforward. If you ever need to rename it, you can come in the same menu and do the same thing. But yeah, this is the basics of using the accelerometer. We'll go ahead and open up a new graph, and then that's about it. So to turn the lab quest off, you simply press and hold the power button in the top left corner for about 3 seconds, and it'll turn off. And then make sure you unplug the probe that you're using. There's a white trigger that you need to push in while you're pulling it out. And then go ahead and put the stylus back in there where you're at so we don't lose it. And yeah, that is the basics of the Vernier Lab Quest and accelerometer probe.